welcome back. I'm so happy you're here, and of course I hope you're ready for a new DIY. What we're going to use, we are going to use the smaller tumbling tower blocks. I always say make sure that you have 4 until 5 packages laying around. You have enough for every DIY. Of course, my container with everything inside, what you need for this DIY, but you can choose anything you like. The most important is of course the wood glue, and I use a very cheap brand. Just use any wood glue you like. You can also use some hot glue, but be careful that it doesn't break. Of course, I have here some paint at your choice, and I have here my saucer with an old piece of kitchen towel which is wet to wipe away the glue. I have 2 examples which we need, and of course this is the cork from IKEA. I use as a measurement, but of course I tell you in a moment the measurements of this round. And of course from my spool I also tell you in a moment the measurement of this round. So these are the main pieces we need for this DIY, and we are going to make a farm animal. You will see in a moment which one we're going to make. So as first we're going to take our round of IKEA, and of course in centimeters this round is 19 centimeters, and of course in inches he is 7.5 inches. So if you have a round this big, then you are totally fine with the measurements I make for this block. So I'm going to go now and measure out how many blocks I need to fill in this round. So you see in a moment the rows we need. So for the first round we need, of course, for everyone who is wondering why I have, it is winter, and in the winter I always have little carves over here. So don't worry about it. It's just because I don't want to have some little, yeah, you saw it, some which is coming up from the wood. We call it zaagsel. You call it maybe some dust, but it's coming off of today. I don't want to get it inside of here, so that's just protection. I have here 4 rows of 12 blocks, so we're going to place them flat on the table. We do some glue on the side, and we just roll them very easy like this together. So always make sure that you have a straight line, but of course for everyone who uses a carpenter's square, it is totally fine. So make sure that you have enough glue on each block. So this way, this is already a number 1. And we are going to make 2 rounds. So I'm sorry for everyone who is a little, where it's a little bit difficult to make a round. So I'm sorry, but this time I need to saw it out. So of course you can use a piece of cardboard, you can use some, you can also order online this kind of round, so you can also order them online. But a couple of them I would do this one in wood, and the other rounds you can easily do in some cardboard. So don't worry, you can easily make it still, but just use some other equipment. Of supplies, I think that's a better word. Supplies for it. So I'm going to do now row number 3 like this, and place it together, and the last. And I really hope that I'm going to make this DIY with my wood glue, because I've just found out that this is my last wood glue. So I never had that before. I always have enough in my stash, but I was looking and looking and I can't find it. So this really is the last one, or else we have a half DIY. It's also possible that we have a half one. So I'm going to squeeze them from the inside to the outside, also over here from the inside to the outside, and then give it later a little bit of pressure on the outside. But first always make sure that the inside is gluing nicely, and then you can go to the outside before it pops out. And again over here the same, and then we're going to wipe away the glue. Very easy. You go over it with a wet towel, and of course make sure that it is an old wet towel. This way, you see already, this also DIYing, and we just glue it together again, and we go back and go over it. If you want to make sure that everything is also on the underside, be straight and place it straight up in a fast movement. And again, clean up your mat, turn it over and do the other side. And so you go on until everything is ready to dry in for a couple of minutes. So we did wait a couple of minutes, and we're going to very gently, we place them on the side, and we turn this one over. So we have them now in this direction. We place 3 of them on the side, over here, And we do some glue on the tops. Make sure that you have on each block enough glue so everything glues nicely together, because we need to use our saw and we don't want that it's breaking out. And again, and we're going to place them this way against here, and this way against here, and this one against here. Make sure that they are straight, and then we're going to gently from the outside we push it to the inside to fill in the open gaps, because we don't want open gaps in the middle. And of course be sure that you have them straight also on the sides this way. And we're going to wipe away the glue. And now we're going to let it dry in for at least 1.5 hours before we're going to make our round. So now we have our first round, but we are going to make two little pieces on the underside of our plank. We have 2 rows of 2. We do some glue over here and we glue them together. And this way also. We make sure that we squeeze them together, and we're going to wipe away the glue. And over here, turn them over, and also turn this one over. And we're going to give it a couple of minutes before we're going to glue them on the underside. So now I have here my 12 blocks, the underside of our plank. What I'm going to do, I'm going to place them with, I think, now you have 12, so you have 6 on each side if you count out the middle. And you do halfway number 6 and halfway number 7 you're going to glue your block. So we do one this side over, so over here, and I'm going to place this one over here, and we do this one. And if everything is correctly, you have the size of one block in between, like this. So you have one block in between number 6 and number 7. You have one block, and then you place these 2 pieces over here, because this will be the feet of our animal. Maybe you already have one idea which animal we are going to make. I think you already, in a little moment, you will know which one we make. Of course, if you would see the thumbnail, you already know it. So I'm doing really difficult to keep a secret what the animal is, but probably when you see the thumbnail, you already know. So I'm going to place this apart, and we're going to leave this for 1.5 hours drying. Now we're going to make our second round, and my second round is in centimeters. He is 13.5, and in inches he is, I have to look for that I have the straight one. It is not really 5.5. He is 5.3. 5.3. So if you have a measurement like this, just maybe cut a piece of cardboard, then you have the same what I will do with my blocks. So you don't have to use wood for it. If you don't have the wood laying around, just make it from cardboard, or maybe something else which is a little bit thicker, some plastic. You can choose anything, even some mat like this one. This is also a plastic mat, but he is really thick, so you can easily use something like this. Measure it out, cut it out, and you also have the head, because this will be his head. So I'm going to line out how many blocks I need for this one. So for this size of round, we need 3 rows of 9. So easy, 3 rows of 9. We do some glue, we lay them again flat on the table, and we row them together like this. And what will help if you don't want to wait a really long time on your drying, you can easily place it with an heater, maybe your stove or something else. But then it works, the wood glue dries much faster if you place it in a warm place, because I always place it with my, I don't know if you call how you call it, we call it verwarming. I think you call it a heater, but I don't mean a heater like where you are cooking on, but at least where you warm yourself on. I think that's a better word. So again, make sure that it is warm, and then it dries really fast. So again, the last row, and we're going to squeeze it from within, of course, the same like we did with the other one. So we have our 3 rows of 9, and then we're going to give it a couple of minutes drying. We wipe away the glue and we're going to turn it over and clean the mat. So now we're going to place this 3 parts also this way, and we're going to place 1 on the side, 2 on the sides, and then we're going to do some glue on the tops. Over here, this one, and over here. And we're going to place it down. And this one against here, make sure that also the sides are fitting nicely. And now we're going to easily fill in the open gaps when we press it from the sides. This is such an easy way to fill in the open gaps, and then most of the time you don't have any open gaps if you only wait a couple of minutes. And of course it will fall apart. It can fall apart. If I now take this up, it will fall apart. So, but don't worry about it. Just glue it together again and you are fit to go. So I'm going to leave this one for at least also 1.5 hours. So in the meantime, our parts are drying. We are going to do 2 rows of 2. This will be the ears, and we're also going to let them dry in a while, because I need to saw this one also. But you can also easily make the ears also from cardboard or for something else. So again, this way and this way, we're going to wipe away the glue. You see already this block is much shorter than the other ones, but I'm going to keep it because I need to saw it so I can easily saw around. And so you can also use the blocks which are not fitting nicely, but make sure that one size is always doing great. So I'm going to leave this, and then I can easily make a little point on top of here. So now we have already our ears. So, and now we're going to make the nose, and the round of the nose is, in my case, I have an underside of one decor piece, is in centimeters. He is 7 centimeters, and in inches he is, I have to look right, 2.8 in inches. So if you keep within that size, then it's great. Of course, you can also, I use some wood, but you don't have to use it. You can use also something else for the nose. And that's already something you don't have to saw then. But I'm making it totally from wood. So again, this one. And now we have the second row of 5. So we have 2 rows of 5 for the nose. I don't know what it is, but he is keep falling down every time. So I'm going to press this one together and this one, and we're going to wipe away the glue and turn it over and do the back side. So we waited a couple of minutes. We're going to place this one straight up, and we do some glue on the top side again, also over here. Place it down, turn this one against here, and fill in the open gaps. And like this, squeeze everything nicely together. And we're going to wipe away the glue and make sure that we do it also on the back side. And we're going to let this rest also for 1.5 hours, because this also needs some sewing. So now I have my first piece over here we just made. Of course, I'm going to get down my piece, and we are not going to make it to the line. We go over it until this part, this kind of corners are falling into the piece like this. So I can show it you a little bit better this way. He has to fall in this way. Of course, if you do it this way, then your feet will fall off, and that's not what you want. So you want to have it a little lower over here. And I show it to you when I draw it. I will show it to you a little bit better. This way, from this corner until this corner. So over here, and now you get something like this. So you see, he starts with over here and he starts on this corner. So now you have a right shape you need. So this one is already to sew. Now we're going to do the second round. So now we have our second round, which will be the 3 rows of 9. We're going to place them on top of here, and we're going to look for that we have it nicely in the middle. And we are going to do it this way. Very easy. we go around over here. So, and if everything is correctly, you have also this kind of round. And now we only need the smaller one. And this is the 2 pieces of 5 glued together. We place them in the middle. And also we go around this way, over here, and on this side. So, and now we have already our third round, which will be the nose. So you see already I did saw all the parts, the middle round, the smaller round, and of course this one, but I totally did forget to tell you that I did make on the underside of the feet a little fishtail like this. So you just do a couple of centimeters in the middle, you make a little dot, and then you go from this side to this side, from this side to this side, and I think it speaks for itself. So it gets now kind of like a little feet. So what we're going to do, I'm going to paint all the pieces in the moment in the pink color. So I think then you already know which animal it will be. But before I'm going to do that, I of course still have left over 2 pieces of 2 glued together, because this will be the ears. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get my pencil and I'm going to make kind of an ears over here this way. I just do it out of hand because it doesn't matter, like this. So over here I'm going for this side to this side, and then I'm going to saw it out. So it's very easy, just make a little point and then you have already your ears. So now I have my the back side of the pig, and of course I'm going to do now the round on top, and I'm going to glue it. So I'm going to, oop, he's already, he's going everywhere. So I'm going to do some glue over here, this way, and I'm going to place it. I think it's a kind of a centimeter from the top off. So not totally, but like a centimeter. And I'm going to give it a little bit of pressure. Make sure that he is in the middle. You can also see the middle over here will be in between the legs. Of course, then you have also the middle of your head. Now we're going to do this around, and I have to look from which side I like the best. I think this one. So I'm going to do some glue for his nose. And we're going to place this one a little from the underside. So over here, this way. And press it down. And now we need the ears. And of course I'm going to glue the ears over here. So I made, you see already, I made it a little bit round to make it fitting. I did it just with my, how you call it? I did it with my jigsaw, but you can also do it with an kind of a hand saw, and you can sand it a little bit better, because he doesn't have to be round. He only needs a little bit of here. If you see it over here, it will be straight, this really straight line. And you see already with mine, I hope I can show, he's only a little sanded from the underside, so not too much, only a little. Then he is already fitting for over here. So I'm going to do some glue, a little part on the back side, over here, this way, and of course on the inside. And I'm going to place it over here. And make sure. And now I'm going to do this one the same. Of course, always look before you glue, look which fitting is the best. That's always better than you are going to look for later. I always say you can better measure out first before you're going to glue it. So I'm going to do some glue on this side, over here on the inside, over here, and on the back side. A little piece, not too much, and we're going to give it this way, and we're going to make sure that we have it where we want. Oh, my nose is already going around, and that's not what we want. And if you have the gap a little bit too much, you can easily also do some speckle on top of here, and make sure that you do some speckle inside if it really bothers you. It doesn't bother me, but some people don't like it, then it's totally fine. Just fill it up with some speckle, but I'm going to do later, because this is a baby pig, I'm going to do a little piece of ribbon over here, so of a little kind of bow. So for me it doesn't matter. So I'm already very happy how this is looking like so far. Of course it is still not really a pig because he's not pink yet, but we will get there. We're going to let this dry in now for at least an hour. So now we have our pink pig, and of course what we're going to do, we have now 5 blocks because I want to give it a stand, but I'm not really sure how I want to have it, because the front is, of course, my piece is at least, everything is from wood, so he is very heavy to fall down. So I'm going to look for if I can make a stand. So this is just a little bit to try out, because I don't want the stand to be overwhelming, that you can really see that he has a stand on the back side, because I don't like that. So I'm going to do 5 blocks. I'm going to do on 3 of them, I'm going to do some glue over here, and the last one, and I'm going to place it down this way, squeeze it over here, give it some pressure, and now I'm going to have 2 loose blocks, and I'm going to do some glue on the top side over here, and I'm you see already, and I'm gluing it together again this way, and I'm going to wipe away the glue, and I'm going to let it dry in for a little moment. So now I place my block straight up like this. So you see, here we have the layers. I place it straight up. I do some glue under this one over here, and I place it on the underside. I squeeze it against this one. Make sure that you have a straight line like this over here, and then let it dry in for at least, I think, because he needs to have some pressure, at least for an half hour at least. Let it dry in before we're going to paint it. So you see already I did mix some white and a little bit of the red. I'm going to make a little bit of the lighter pink, and of course I'm going to paint first my little pig in the pink color. So I'm going to make sure that everything has a nice pink color. Of course, I don't want to have it too light, then you don't even see that it is a pig. So I'm going to paint this one. And of course, I don't do his feet. His feet will be in a kind of a gray black color, but you can do any color you like. So I'm going to take my time for it, and I won't bore you with that. So now I have the pig itself is now in the pink color. Before I'm going to do the feet, I'm going to give it some eyes, and I'm going to use a little bit of the darker gray. It's almost black. So I'm going to give it only a little bit of paint, because I don't need too much. So of course I place it over here, and I'm going to get the back side of my brush I always use to make a little dot. But of course, before you're going to do it, you can make it yourself easy and just take the half, and you just do a little bit maybe over here, and you do a little half, and you do a little bit over here, and then you can have easy already where you want to have it. If you want to have it a little bit more higher, or maybe this way. So you can easily see where you want to have it. So I'm going to get my black, pointed in the back side, and I'm just going to make a nice little black dot over here. I do here the same. And now you can make them as big as you want. And you see already, I think he looks already very nice. And now he really gets a face. So I'm going to let this dry in for a little moment. So, and for the nose, I do them in the half over here, and I make them a little over here and a little over here. So make sure that you have them a little bit equal. And of course, I made the little openings a little bit bigger, and I do them also in the black color. And so I'm going to start with the first small one, and then I'm going to go a little bit bigger. So you see already, I'm really happy how this is looking like. Of course, I have to work with it still a little, and then we do a little bit of the mouth under here. So now I have the nose a little bigger, you see already. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to get my black, and I'm going to have a small brush like this, And I'm going to do a little bit through the black color, and I'm dabbing it off really well this way, and I'm just going to give it a little bit in the ears, a little bit of the darker look, so this way, and also over here, so it looks a little bit more like you look into your the ears of your pig. And of course you have to work a little bit with it and give it a little bit of a little bit, yeah, I don't know how you say it in English, at least a look for that it is you look inside of your of the ears. And if you don't like it, it's totally fine. You just get your paint and you just paint it you paint it in the pink color again. So I'm going to work with it, so I'm happy with how it's looking like. So now I have a little bit of the inside of the ears, and I was thinking to do a mouth under here, but I am really debating if I must do it or not. So I'm going to leave it for now. But first I'm going to get, of course, his feet, and I'm going to place them in the black color. So very easy. I'm just going to go around the line, and I'm going to make his feet in the black color. But of course you can also do it in the brown color. So do whatever you think it's right. So now we have our feet, of course, in the black color, and now we're going to glue the stand on the back side so he can stand on his own. And then I only need to give it a bow. You can give it, of course, a bow, a top over here. You can give it one over here. You can do both of them. So you can decorate it any way you like. So we're going to do the stand on the back side, and then we're going to give it a bow. So it is easy. You place your pig over here, and you're going to measure out where you want to have it. And of course you want to have it lean backwards, so you have to do it not straight down like this, but you do glue it a little higher. That means that he goes, when you place it down, he goes a little bit more to the back side. So just do some glue, and I made already a little mark where I want to have it. So I'm going to glue this, at least everything with one hand. And you see already, the glue is not running. That's also DIY, so if you have a moment. So, and there you are again. So I'm ready for gluing. So I'm going to place this one over here, do some glue also on the whole piece, because it needs to hold quite a little bit of the yeah, of course, of the pig, because he's quite heavy. So you see already, now I'm going to, I have him a little bit shorter than the feet are. He's a little bit more to the inside, and I'm going to let this dry, and then we're going to see how the end reveal will be. And here you see finally a quick impression of my tumbling tower blocks, a little big, and I'm so happy how this one turned out. Of course, you can change it up any way you like. Of course, everyone who is new here, I hope you enjoy what you saw. And if you do, I hope you will click the red subscribe button, give it a thumbs up and hit the bell, so you will be notified every time we upload new DIYs. Everyone, thank you so much for being here. And of course, everyone, I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.